Girl, you the best. And she love me when I'm in it. And she never be pretending. Nothing is friend. She gon' tell you what she bought it. Cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get it. Looking exquisite. No competition. Stay on the pivot. They be watching. They be plotting. She so motherfucking independent. Mama be big. Got on her grind. She had to get out her mama house. Daddy be tripping.
Hello, welcome everyone to the E-Spot with Camille. I'm your host, Camille Cower, and I am super excited to have back the style expert, Denise Caldwell. She is a style expert. She's amazing. She's doing so much out in the world. She's literally everywhere all the time. So I cannot wait for you guys to see her again on the E-Spot with Camille. Of course, this isn't going exactly like I planned, but yay! Welcome back. I'm so glad to see you and for you to see me this time, because I know last time it was a one-way street. But all that matters is that we see your beautiful fashion and everything that you have to say, and it's so good to see you. And thanks for bearing with me with all of our technical issues that we had earlier.
Oh my gosh, we always say it wouldn't be fashion if there was no drama. So I think I have my drama for the day.
Yeah, we definitely started this fashionably late. But the show must go on, and I am so excited to have you back on. So first off, for those who haven't seen the previous episode, I don't know why you haven't. I'll make sure I add the link in so you can see it again or see it for the first time if you haven't seen it. But tell a little bit about your history, how you got started in the in the fashion world, because I find it so fascinating how you got started.
Yeah, so first off, I went to college in DC at Howard University. Shout out to my bison. And I studied chemistry actually in college. And I became a member of the American Chemical Society. I wanted to go to med school, but growing up as a VPA kid, like the arts were always in my foreground. So I just kind of did that when I ran for Mrs. Howard. When I, did the Miss Howard pageant, I started working for the homecoming committees. I got an internship at the university where I was writing and helping in the PR department for press releases and stuff. I got to meet Kenneth Cole. And just talk about stuff when the endowment from Johnny Cochran had come to the university. I got to do like upkeep maintenance on press releases about the millions of dollars that he had donated from when he was deceased. And then 17 came to our campus because we were one of the most fashionable campuses, and I got to be their escort. So I met their fashion director. Fast forward to me getting internship at Women's Wear Daily and then Essence, Harper's Bazaar, working for celebrity publicist Marvette Brito, doing the red carpet for like the BET Awards. So I really kind of did a whole turnaround spin. I know people say like a 180, but it really kind of was a 360. It was just a remix. It brought me back to my original state of loving the arts and loving being active in that type of environment. And then here we are, 12 and a half years later, where I have done over 22 seasons of Fashion Week in New York. I celebrated in 2020 10 years of participating with the Met Gala. So it's kind of been a whirlwind, and it really just started with a yes. Me being in the bathroom at Harper's Bazaar as an intern, meeting a celebrity stylist and their former fashion director, and then going on a whirlwind with her for a cover with Britney Spears when she was pregnant, to doing other type of things behind the scenes, being able to go to the White House and participate in the photo shoot where Harper's Bazaar featured Michelle Obama on the cover, to being on the Brooklyn Bridge with Sarah Jessica Parker, to going to the Midwest in Michigan to film, as you all saw in the promos, with Drew Barrymore on a farm and having like 12 extras in a trailer that we had to like pearly dress, to just doing things on my own, working with celebrities like Michelle Monaghan, doing a lot of procurement and fashion market work for other stylists, like Jenny Capitan, who does Oprah Winfrey. It's just been a whirlwind. but it's been fun. And right now, I was able to take all that I've learned from working with celebrities and models and beauty brands and bring that to the forefront of the masses, where I do the local top 25 TV stations in the US. And I do national television shows. And then I also have a television show that I do in Canada. And that's really great because I get to work with lifestyle brands, beauty brands, fashion brands, and promote confidence along the way to help women dress their, most beautiful and confident self.
What an amazing career. I mean, first off, what is VPA Kid? Because I didn't know what that meant.
So a lot of schools that are visual and performing arts schools, whether they're magnet or public, it's like School of the Arts. I don't know, like in New York, we have LaGuardia where Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj attended. So it's a visual and performing arts school. It's like the movie A Throwback Fame, where Debbie Allen, famously said, "You want to work, you want to sweat," I went
Kara,
to school
all
in
that.
the
I remember.
Midwest.
And Janet Jackson, she was on Fame. Now I remember.
Yeah, a lot of people were on Fame, but that's how our schools were kind of modeled, where we had majors for performing arts. So it was really a great thing for me to kind of pay homage back to that. When I got to Howard, all those juices, started flowing. I wanted to dance. I wanted to orate. I wanted to, just be around things and create, make events and stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, do I really want to go to med school? And at the time, you're young, and even though following your passion was starting to get big around that time when I was graduating, but I hadn't tapped into that yet to be like, to follow your passion or, lead by faith. I just more so was like, I don't think this is for me, and it wasn't really the grades per se. It was just that it didn't bring me happiness. And I didn't know at the time that was something that you should just tap into, to be like, tap into that. There's something there. So I'm just really grateful that I was able to have that experience doing visual and performing arts, elementary school and middle school, that I was able to be around the arts and have majors and be around so many talented people. A lot of my one friend is debuting her Broadway play, where she was the assistant choreographer in March, and I'm so excited. And a lot of my friends went to Juilliard afterwards. A lot of them danced for Alvin Ailey. A lot of them work for different TV stations where they produce things. So it really paid off for them. I just kind of was a little slow catching up, but I'm on my way.
It's slow when you start off in college working with 17, and then Essence, and then I don't know, working at the White House with Michelle Obama. Yeah, I wouldn't really call that a slow progression. But why would you say that?
those were all contributor roles. Those were all behind the scenes. Some of them were one hitters. So it definitely added to my resume and gave me great experience.
People don't always know exactly what they want to do, or don't really get those opportunities to even find out, like, oh, I think I want to be the different things you got to try out, So I'm curious for you, like, what's the traditional path, and then why was it different for you?
Yeah, for me, I always speak to inspire and empower. And so I was a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer in a lot of things, growing up. And so when I kind of got to that, like, I love the art of dance, but I was always curvy. So I didn't really have the confidence to let the dance teacher at our school know that I'd like to, try to be a dancer until I was in the 5th grade. And by that time, we were about to graduate. And so, but she gave me the opportunity. So for me, to inspire a person that's watching this and saying, well, I kind of understand what she's saying, I didn't really tap into it. I was always gregarious. I was always outspoken. I was always ambitious. I mean, in the 6th grade, I knew I wanted to go to Howard University. Like I vocalized it. And again, not knowing necessarily about how we know now about manifestation and, more faith. And, we believed in God in my family, but just even the power of prayer even more as I got older. So it's more so an inspiration thing to say, if you are a late bloomer, if you recognize, I kind of could have possibly did that earlier or made that decision earlier. That's more so my takeaway from it, because once I expressed in the 5th grade that I wanted to dance, when I went to middle school, I was able to dance. A dance teacher encouraged me with my weight, saying, okay, yes, you are a little bit chubbier than the other kids. Costumes will possibly be hard to find for you, but work on that. Be charismatic. That was the first time I had ever really heard the word charisma in the 6th grade. And then that's something that has followed me all of my life. And so words have power. That was a positive word that, and I'll never forget, her name was Pelagie Green Wren. Pelagie said charisma. And that was something she spoke over me. And to this day, that is something that follows me all my life when we talk about my career, when we talk about conversation, even in my personal relationships. It may be something like, there's something about her. She's just charming, that girl. She is. I got to keep her, so just those different things
that they enjoy too. So of course, having that kind of personality on shoots where it may be very treacherous work, it may be long hours, or you may be in a farm in the middle of Michigan. Why not be stuck with somebody that makes it fun? So I get that. Like, charisma can get you a long way. Having a good personality can get you a long way. Of course, having the talent definitely helps as well. But I remember hearing when I first started or not necessarily first, because I started maybe it was a late bloomer for me because I was 13. But when I started in the film industry, I remember someone saying it's only like 10% talent, 80% of who you know and what you know, in that sense. So, it's like, at the same time, you got to have the personality, because those are long hours and nobody wants to be with someone that's just draining too. So, no, that's great. Now,
exactly. It's like,
yeah. Oh, I just
go ahead.
I guess there's a little delay. So I wanted to hear more about, like, I guess, what's the traditional path, or what path would you suggest for someone who wants to do what you do, who wants to be a TV contributor, who wants to work with fashion and help people find the best clothes for Met Galas or all the different wonderful things you've worked on, New York Fashion Week. Like, this sounds like a dream to someone who, I even had somewhat access to New York City whenever my parents lived there for filming different things, but it still never seemed like a real reality to me until Kate Moss became a model, and she was 5'6". I was like, I'm 5'6" 3/4. Maybe I can make it. Because I had tried out when we lived in New York. I went to Ford Models, and Michael Ford told me I was too short, and then I needed to lose 10 pounds. I never listened to him, obviously, but I realized, I guess editorial is not my world. Commercial and lifestyle is more me, because then you can be the girl next door. You can be more attainable beauty in that sense too. You didn't have to worry about starving yourself. You could be a size 6 or 4 or 8 or 12s even, I think now. It might be even beyond that. But needless to say, what advice would you give someone who wants to do what you do?
Absolutely. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the different sizings and different things. Things have evolved so much since then. You know what I mean? Like, even with me, getting my degree in 2009, things have evolved so much from that time frame. And so the thing about that is that when it evolved, more thought leaders and advanced thinkers came into the picture. So it's really not a narrow way to get into the industry. There's all sorts of ways. And especially now with the new climate that we're in, where everyone had kind of, went even more virtual than before, you're able to kind of have your own voice out there. And I think as long as it's a voice, and I was going to say as long as it's positive, because I'm all about positivity, but we all know that there's a lot of things that are out on the internet that are not positive, and people still follow those things too. But as long as you have a voice, a statement, anybody will listen to you, and they will gravitate to you if it speaks to them. And so I learned that I love fashion. I became a student of it by way of being taught as I was employed. That doesn't always happen. There's internships, or people do go to school for it. My school I took like 2 classes of fashion. And then my school was my internships. My school was learning as I go. some blessed opportunities, making mistakes while I'm in Paris for couture and have like multiple fashion wardrobe suitcases and trunks with me, and some things getting lost, and not being able to speak French as fluently, knowing that, oh, I have a friend that lives here. Let me hire them to work with us. He's fashionable and he's cute. Let's hire him. He can be the translator, and he also has muscles, so he can help on set. So some of those things were natural, where I'm a quick thinker, I'm a problem solver. So those things may not be innate for other people, but again, you'll pick up as you go those type of skill sets. But because I had a great foundation of those things, I was able to kind of use some people will say common sense, but common sense is different for other people. But I just knew how to be a problem solver. I knew there were small things in the details. I knew to be cognizant about my surroundings, and things that I was learning, to always have a notepad, to always make notes. Because if I wasn't sure or had questions, I could always go back and I had it in writing to reference. And then it was easy to pick up the fashion. My dad and my mom always loved fashion. They were very fashionable people. So I had my own taste or trend, but then I needed to learn the aesthetic of the editor and the stylist that I was working for at the time, and say, okay, this is what they like. It's a little bit more refined. It's a little bit more luxe. Okay, it's a little bit more punk. It's a little bit more glam. Okay, it's a little bit more high price. And then as I learned from them and became a student of their world, but then also was exposed to so much more with great photographers like Peter Lindbergh and Terry Richardson, just being able to experience their world and see their images through their eyes and actually have a front row seat at it. I mean, it was amazing. But then I was able to look at that and say, how can I bring that back to my community? Women that look like me, young girls that are looking up to, celebrities, and they want that look. They want to look like that, but it wants to be attainable, accessible, but also appropriate. And that's where the TV stuff came in for me, which was really exciting. And it just kind of all flowed, like God was really ordering my steps, and opportunities were really starting to come my way.
Well, since we're talking about fashion, I have to ask, what are you wearing today?
Oh, yeah. So I knew, because it's still February, Black History Month, I am wearing Black designer, Black-owned boutique, Adrienne Parker from Curvera. She has an amazing website, curvera.com. She does some custom, and she also does a lot of fast fashion. And she does it for women from a size 12 all the way to a size 5X. So she really gets in there for, people that have gotten a little bit curvier or their weight fluctuates. And it's her love letter to curvy women to empower them to be fashionable. So this is a cute little, I think it's called the Baddie set. And I love it because it's a jacket. I love a sleeve, so it's long, and it stretches, and it's just really cute. It's like good for the weather. I can put my little ankle boot on with it, but yes, I love her website. And she's such a great woman. She's in Atlanta, and her website ships worldwide, which I love. And so she's just really cool, and she's a Black-owned business.
Hey, that's great. Now, of course, now we got to know about all the other beautiful things that you brought for us to learn more about today. So I did.
And I'm just like, why she has a notepad?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so funny because I wrote down some stuff. I said, you know what? I know my girl is going to want to know the tea from New York Fashion Week. We are fresh off of it, and there was so many amazing, diverse highlights of fashion. Everything from Sergio Hudson was amazing, Laquan Smith. But even in the beauty realm,
can we talk about Sergio Hudson just for 1 second? Because he brought back Beverly Johnson, and she looked stunning. Oh my gosh. I don't know why there's a delay.
I don't think Beverly ever left though. Beverly's been around, girl.
She said she's never done she wasn't really popular with runway, so she doesn't do a lot of fashion shows. So that's what I mean in that sense, because she said it was like a long time since she's done runway. She's never left. You're right, because with a body like that, why would you? She looks amazing.
And a face.
Oh my, her face, everything about her is perfection, because she's sweet and just, anyway. when you said Sergio Hudson, I was like, Beverly Johnson. Yeah. So,
Yes.
sorry. Please continue.
I want to say New York really, a lot of people were saying, we're back. New York was really back for Fashion Week. There were a lot of celebrities around, a lot of designers, pop-ups. Marc Jacobs did what we know Marc Jacobs brand to do, which is close out New York Fashion Week. He popped up and he did it. And that was really great. I mean, there's so many great things. And even like beauty-wise, I know you and I were talking, and there's this brand that's going to premiere on Shark Tank, and I love it. Alicia is the founder's name, but it's called Range Beauty. So I am all excited about her because she specializes in skin that has like eczema and if you're acne and stuff, but she's going to have different color ranges for women of color. So I'm super excited about that. I've been trying out Natalia M Beauty, which is really good. I love her logo. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes.
I like the packaging.
And I have her lip on, which I love. So she does a lot of matte lipstick, and she also makes this most amazing mascara. She's a Black beauty-owned business. I think this was the year of like woman-centered brands, women-catered brands, whether it was created by a woman or if it was a love letter to a woman. It was just really something where people just really took the time to cater to women. And, specifically, I want to say women of color, especially Black women. I feel like this was that year where they were really paying homage, whether it was with your hair and with beauty. I mean, there have been so many brands like here, the eyeglass brand that I have, Vantele. This is a woman-owned brand, and Queen Latifah just wore their specs on the Equalizer show. And what I love about the eyeglass brand is that it's for people with broader features. So if you have a wider brim nose or your face is a little bit more rounder, and of course, those would mostly be people of color or some type of pigment.
Yeah, I have these for my glasses for that exact reason.
And they do prescription.
Yeah.
Yep, they do prescription, and they also do fashionable glasses. And it's gender fluid. I feel like that's the word I've been saying, like, for the last couple of months. I always want to say gender fluid, unisex. I mean, just different things. The hat brand, Wear Brims. They're doing a cool collection with Nordstrom for their caps. And so this is going to be good. And this is a business brand, Black owned, and they're guys. They went to HBCUs, and that's how they met as friends. And so Wear Brims is really great. They have the amazing fedoras, and again, gender fluid, so male and female. But I just love that the colors like really pop on there, which is great. But I mean, who doesn't love to put a nice cap on? So I'm really excited. It has like the leather detail, handbags. Of course, I got my Brandon Blackwood. He's selling at Nordstrom now, which is great. So all those times when they would sell out between him and Telfar, I'm excited about the new styles for Brandon Blackwood. And then the other brand that I have here, Adolphine, she is an amazing designer, and she does briefcases for men, and she also does great handbags, and she has these really amazing duffels that are made out of organic cloth from the Congo Republic as well. So that's something good. And a lot of her stuff goes to charity, but Adolphine is really high end. It's made really well. And I just love that one too. So those are a couple. And of course, I know you're a shoe girl. Tori Sudan, which is made out of Italy, but she is from Baltimore, Maryland. And she has a lot of luxury goods and shoes. So she has really great shoes. I love like her Julie boot. It has a graphic black and white print on there. Just really great. So there are a lot. I mean, there were a lot of highlights during Fashion Week, and there are a lot of Black-owned brands that are luxe. Some are accessible in price, but some, are high end. And I think that's where a lot of us were looking for. Like sometimes, if we love everything from Target to Versace, but if we can find people that are making creative things, and even if it's not so well a household name, there's power in our spending, so we can make it that. But also, who loves when you go to brunch to hang out and you got some fly on and nobody's seen it before, and then you can put them on game? I mean, I should say drinks are on your friends, because then you tell them where to get it, and then if you have a code that they can get 10%, 20% off, hello. Okay.
Wait, it sounds like you might have some codes you need to share with us.
Exactly. I'm like, you got a code? You get a discount? Oh, okay. What's the discount? I mean, and it's not only helping the person out or your favorite blogger or social media influencer, because obviously that's a partnership that they have with the brand. So they're actually getting something as well, which is great. And then you're getting something cute and amazing that you can put on, whether it's hair, makeup, or outfit, or a cute accessory. So everybody's winning.
Amen. And that's a church of fashion. So I want to make sure before I let you go, because you've already given so much time to me today, especially with the tech issues. And I know you are a busy girl that's always on TV. What do you think about spring? Like, what are your thoughts of colors or combinations or style? Like, what do you think is going to be the trends for spring?
Well, the spring colors are already pretty set. People will look into, there's an organization called Pantone. And so what Pantone is they set the tone for what the colors will be for 2022. So it is this kind of like periwinkle blue almost. So it's a mix of like lavenders and mauves and like pastel blues and different things. And so you'll notice that you started seeing those in the store kind of. I mean, and they've even been doing it with like cute little faux leather pieces or vegan leather pieces. So I'm excited to see how and that actually translates on all skin tones. So I love when those type of colors are there, because you can't go wrong with pastels, or subtle bright colors, because color is a mood booster. I know we will go to our traditional black every now and then, or we'll just wear jeans, in a cute little top. But if you have on something that is bright, that is vibrant in color, it really is a mood booster. It's a conversation starter. And it also brings like good hormones, pheromones to you when you wear it, because if you're looking good and you're feeling good, then you can spread that goodness, either doing good or making somebody else feel good. So I'm excited to see color. I'm loving all the vegan leather and the faux leather options there. I feel like feminine dressing is definitely coming back. So, nice silk or satin materials, cotton that's mixed with other materials that will flow on the body. Because I feel like everybody's still trying to get their snap back from that COVID 20 or 15 or 10 or whatever. So it's just really great that we're able to have fabrics that stretch to the body and still will complement whatever your figure is at the moment. So I'm just really excited. And I love a good jean that has some nice little like distressed slits and stuff. I try not to buy stuff that has big holes in it. Just because over time and over wear and over washes, the holes will expand on their own. And I'm loving all the shapes and silhouettes of swimwear. So I feel like I'm always trying to go somewhere in my mind. So to have great swimwear options and cover-ups and, pants and different things that you can wear your swimwear day or night, whether to the pool or if you go to the patio and have a cocktail. So I'm really excited about that. And I just love all the different hats and stuff because, again, it's cute sun protection. So you still got to keep, yourself protected from the elements in the environment. So having options on different headgear, whether it's a bucket hat, a fedora, floppy, baseball cap, all the different shapes that people are doing lately with different types of hats. I'm just excited to try hats out because I'm a hat person. I love hats too.
So I have, how do I put it nicely? I have a bigger head than the average person a lot of times.
No, you just have to. I have a trick for you.
I've gone, like when I got the graduation cap and they were like measuring, like, whoa, you have like a man size head. I'm like, okay, thanks. Nobody needed to hear that.
But
So I have a little
You
bit larger.
said
So
it.
I love that,
Your
you
hat.
know, that there's more people making hats for people with heads like mine, or even like if you have braids or
Yes.
natural hair, there's more room for that. But even still, it like automatic social distancing, the bigger the brim. So not only
I'm
sun
still
protection,
social
but COVID
distancing, so that's
protection.
great.
It's got
The
many
excuse is
uses.
the hat.
Sorry, don't get too close. It's the hat.
It's my
Now,
hat.
so I want to make sure everybody knows how to keep up with you, where they can find you next, because you're always doing the newest and latest thing. So where can people keep up with you?
Yes. So I am on Instagram at Style Expert Denise, and I am on Facebook as Style Expert Denise Caldwell. And then I'm on YouTube. If you just type in Denise Caldwell or keyword Style Expert, I'll pop up in your top favorites for that. And also they can check me out. I mean, now fitting rooms are open back up, so you never know. I may be in a city near you in a fitting room, doing some makeovers or trying on clothes myself because I love to shop. Yeah, and then for my Canada people, I have a TV segment coming up in March again. We just the other day highlighted a lot of Black-owned businesses and fashion brands. So excited for that. And so for March, we're going to do something fun for layering pieces. So I'll still be virtual. I haven't stepped foot on my Canada scene yet. I so miss them. And I'm just excited. There's a lot of national stuff coming up with like Today Show GMA as well.
Exciting, exciting. I will definitely have you on my DVR where you, like it has a thing where you can record certain people automatically. So I will set my DVR. I know most people are like DVR. I know. I haven't cut the cord completely, even though I have like all the streaming apps too. There's something about being able to watch things the same day it came out because I can't wait the next day.
Me too.
Yeah. So
I love TV. I mean, I feel like people have all the streamings and then they still have their television because, I mean, if we learned anything from the last 2 years, you know, television does save you along with having all your tech devices too.
Yeah, I agree. And with everything that's going on now in the world, our hearts are out to the people in Ukraine. It's just, you just never know when things are when you might need that alert too. That comes around the ticker at the bottom, like, wait, what? Because I live in not Hurricane Valley, but we get a lot of hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff. So I want to see that ticker to keep up with that because, Anywho, it was so nice having you.
Safety alerts. We want everybody to stay stylish but safe.
That part. So thank you so much for being my guest again. I love having you. We'll have to do this again because there's never enough time because I definitely was like, ooh, I want to ask her more stories about your past career, but we're moving forward. I want to know what you're doing now, what's going on now, what's the hottest now. And that's why I was like, I'll have to just ask off air all the questions I have about, because then you can give me the real juice. What was going on? Or tea. There I
Give you the tea.
Well, thank you again for being my guest, Denise Caldwell. She told you where to follow her. Make sure you do. You want to make sure you are up to date on all the latest and greatest in beauty, style, lifestyle, and make sure you follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the things, and YouTube, as a matter of fact. So again, thank you for being my guest. Thanks for tuning in to the East Spot, and I'll be back next Thursday. Who knows what time, because maybe I'll be live, maybe it'll be later. We'll find out. All right. Thanks again.